All right, so it all started like it often does with a tweet last Wednesday from Brett Winton, the analyst at ARK Invest. He said, I have solar installed by Tesla since January, hasn't generated a single watt hour, waiting for utility to approve the connection. And I know how this feels because 8 years ago when we got solar on the roof, they installed it all. It was sunny days for weeks and months, and we had to wait to turn it on because the damn utility took months to sign the permit.
And Elon tweeted back, he said, did you buy a Powerwall? Utility permission is required for flowing electricity back to grid, but usually not if stored in our battery. This also enables 24/7 electricity security for your home. Utility permission is needed for when Powerwall is full and can stabilize grid.
Then 2 hours later, Elon tweeted, starting next week, Tesla solar panels and solar roof will only be sold as an integrated product with Tesla Powerwall battery. Now, we kind of knew that this was probably coming because we saw it on the website, but it hadn't been officially announced till now. Then Elon said, solar power will feed exclusively to Powerwall. Powerwall will interface only between utility meter and house main breaker panel, enabling super simple install and seamless whole house backup during utility dropouts. And then the big announcement. Powerwall 2 peak and steady power capability is better than advertised. Now that we have lots of operational data, Tesla can unlock higher capabilities for free via software update next month. Depending on production date, power increase may be over 50% at 30 degrees Celsius ambient temperature.
So power increase may be greater than 50%. Now, let's not get power confused with capacity.
Right.
Powerwall 2 has a capacity of 13.5 kilowatt hours. It has a 5 kilowatt continuous or 7 kilowatt peak power. So that's the amount of power that it can deliver.
Oh, right. So if I'm thinking about wanting to power different circuits in my house, I may have to only assign certain circuits to the Powerwall because it might not have enough power.
Right. So if the power went out, you had one Powerwall, you couldn't turn on your electric stove, run 2 hair dryers.
And your air conditioner.
Your air conditioner and charge your car all at the same time.
Right.
It just doesn't have enough power output.
Okay, but what is the new power going to be?
It's going to be 7.5 kilowatts continuous and 10.5 kilowatts peak. But wait, there's more.
Anna Bonilla said, I noticed my brand new Tesla 7.6 kilowatt inverter doing 7.9 kilowatts?
Elon said newest units can probably do as much as 10 kilowatts continuous and double that in peak power at 30 degrees ambient temperature. In house power vernacular, this translates to 80 LRA, soft start of 3.5 ton HVAC. 2 Powerwalls would double this, 3 would triple, etc.
Okay, so if you're saying, what is LRA? Do I have to learn a new term? Kind of. It's locked rotor amps. It's basically the very high current or amperage that a motor draws when power is first applied. You can think of this as when you turn on your air conditioner, and for about a second, there's this surge of power needed to get that motor started, and then it calms down from there. But if you don't have that power when it first starts, you'll blow a breaker.
So Powerwalls and solar inverters just got better with an over-the-air update. And now you have to buy at least one Powerwall to get solar. So why did he do this? Why not just sell you the solar?
Well, because I think 3 possible reasons. Number 1, he said it right there pretty clearly. Solar power will feed exclusively to Powerwall. Powerwall will interface only between the utility meter and the house main breaker panel, enabling super simple install and seamless whole house backup during utility dropouts. So the Powerwall has now become integral to the process. It makes installation cheaper. And my big question is, did he move the gateway and the solar inverter into the Powerwall? Those are those 2 separate boxes you need when you're doing a solar install. And my thought the whole time was a lot of that box, when you open those up, is air. There's some parts in there and there's some connections, but largely it's just a little computer and some connections. And my thought was, why didn't he just put this in the Powerwall?
Right. And to begin with, Solar City was doing their own thing. There was no such thing as the Tesla Powerwall. Right. They were not a merged together, vertically integrated company. So it makes sense that, Solar City would have to develop their own kind of gateway and things. In fact, we have one on our house because when you signed up for Solar City existed and that's who you talk to.
Right.
But now, it's why have a box that's going to need to communicate to Wi-Fi and then have another box right next to it that's also going to have to communicate to Wi-Fi, and then like a third box that's going to need an inverter when there's already an inverter in the other box. It's like, take all of those things, put them all together. You might need a few parts here or there, but it could save a whole bunch of money and install and look nicer.
Exactly.
Which Elon hasn't even pointed out. But we don't know if it's 100% true or accurate yet.
Right. Number 2 could be, if you have solar only, then you kind of forget you have it, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's awesome, but it just works week after week, month after month. It's just doing its thing, making energy. But with the Powerwall, now the customer is more involved. You see the times when it saves you from blackouts. You get to see your Powerwall on your app, and you see that it's sending power to the grid and making you money. And
I remember.
Yeah.
We were riding our bikes around once we had this like freak windstorm in our town, knocked down a ton of trees. Power was out pretty much throughout the whole town. We had power because of the Powerwalls. We were going for a bike ride. We went past a house. Big tree had come down, knocked out their power. They were going to lose it for a couple days at least. They had solar on the roof. And so we stopped by and we said, hey, do you guys have power? And they're like, no. We're like, well, if you had a battery pack, you would have power.
Exactly.
So, and meanwhile, they're running a generator.
Right.
When they're literally should be generating energy right on their roof.
Because they're missing the Powerwall.
Exactly.
And the third conjecture here, and this is a conjecture alert.
Conjecture time.
Is that this could be the beginning of microgrids. I mean, is this the beginning of this more widespread virtual power plants that we've been talking about? Maybe Elon's tweet backs me up. He then said on April 22nd, Tesla Solar plus Powerwall battery enables consumers to be their own utility.
So could he be meaning that more literally than what it already literally kind of means?
He went on to say, I'm staying at a friend's place in Florida that is 85% powered by Tesla Solar roof and Powerwall. When grid power goes down, air conditioning automatically turns off in some of the house. Computers and lights don't even flicker. Owner says he doesn't even notice.
And I mean, one time tree fell on our power.
Right when we were doing the show.
Recording the show, and it kept working. So we know that that's true.
Now, Electrek is reporting that some Tesla Solar Roof customers who have seen the price of Solar Roof go up are now being offered free Powerwalls to take the sting off.
Powerwalls are no longer being sold separately, but before the bundling with Solar Roof started, they cost $7,500 each before installation.
And here's the thing. If you're going to get a Powerwall installed, it costs the $7,500 for the Powerwall, and then a few $1,000 for the installation. By bundling it with solar, you already got the guys here and the trucks here and all that stuff here. And so the price of the whole operation goes way down.
And I think that this just reinforces the evidence that we had for reason number 1. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. Why is Elon doing this?
Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching Now You Know Clips.
You can watch full episodes of Tesla Time News on Mondays and in-depths on Fridays. Just click the link down below to head over to the Now You Know channel.